Hey everybody, welcome back to Hot Taq'n. In this episode, Andalee is going to sit down with the amazing master percussionist Susu. In this 3-part series, we're going to talk about everything from Susu at her younger years, up into her club days, into Susu now. So please sit back and enjoy the first episode of this 3-part series of Hot Taq'n with Susu.
Hi, Susu.
Hey, Andalee.
I'm so excited to be chatting with you today.
I'd love to talk to you.
I know you may not know this, but you're my low-key mentor. Like, maybe you don't know that you're my mentor, but I think of you as a mentor, as a female trying to drum. You know, my whole life I've been trying to drum. But I look up to you, so thank you.
Wow, well, thank you.
I was just telling Philip today, and we don't have to put this in here. I was like, I want to be Susu when I grow up. It's true.
I love your drumming.
Thank you.
I think, I'll say this for the way I look at dancers. Most dancers are drummers.
Right.
They drum with their bodies. They express rhythm, and they also express melody.
Yeah.
With their bodies. So
yeah.
And I know you have training as a drummer in a drum corps, which gives you a great head start. But you're already a drummer. Sorry to interrupt.
It's almost more embarrassing for people to know that I took actual drumming, because it is a lot less impressive when they see. Okay. All right. So Susu, if you don't mind introducing yourself, just your name, where you're from, where we're coming from today.
We're in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We're in Amina's studio. And if you know my name, Susu, Susu Pampanin. Susana Maria Pampanini is my...
Is it?
That's if you were to speak it in Italian. Yes, I have some Italian blood. I'm a mutt, actually.
Well, I think we kind of all are at this point.
But the Italian part, that's why my last name is Pampanin. It used to be Pampanini. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is good to know. Yeah. You know, this nose is also Italian. Sicilian.
And I have a brother named Vinny.
Really? Yes, I love it. Not a cousin named Vinny?
My brother. Watch out.
So how old were you when you first became interested in drumming?
Honestly, I don't remember how old I was when I became interested in this kind of drumming. Although I know when I was really little, I wanted to play the drum set.
Yeah.
Before I even knew what instruments were called. Yeah. So, real little. My parents took us to Golden Gate Park here in San Francisco, and we were watching. They used to have bands playing in Golden Gate Park at the band shell. We watched different bands playing, and I remember just being, I can't say how old I was, little. And I saw the singers singing, and the horn players playing the horns, and the keyboard players playing. And I saw the guy on the platform in the back rocking out with the drums, and I thought, that guy's having the most fun. That's what I want to do. I just remember that, but I can't really say how old I was. But I can say when I started playing this kind of drum, I was around 12.
Yeah.
I got my first lesson with Amina.
I love that. What is your first memory of playing this drum?
First memory playing this drum was having my mom sit myself, my brother Vinny, and my sister Kathy down in the living room on the couch. She had a clay drum, and she said, I'm taking drum lessons, and maybe one of you would want to practice with me. So I'm going to teach all of you a rhythm. And she showed us all a rhythm, and she passed the drum from kid to kid. And then it was Melody, and I thought it was super cool.
So you were 12?
Yeah, I was 12, and she said, okay, this drum is fragile. It's made out of clay. It has a fish skin. Don't touch it without asking me. I'm going to put it over here in the corner in this pillowcase, and if you want to try it again tomorrow, ask me, and I'll sit you down. Don't break my drum. So I was like, I thought about it, and the rhythm wouldn't leave my head. Once I had that rhythm going, I was like, oh, that was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
And it was like I got a couldn't get it out of my head. So the next day I said, Mom, I want to try it again. So I sat down and I said, okay, bring me the fragile drum. Then I tried melody again, and after a few days I said, okay, I want to try again. I want a new one. So she showed me another rhythm, and so on and so forth. So I was kind of interested in it.
That's beautiful.
I don't know why, but I thought it was really fun. Really fun.
I can almost imagine the ceremonial aspect of it. You know, this object being shrouded and your mom unveiling it for you and handing it to you, and it was like the magical kind of moment where you got to play it because it was okay with your mom and she showed you something.
Yeah, and actually, you have kids, so you know how dancers are.
Right.
Dance is the most important thing besides the kids.
They won't do anything with me.
You know, so it was one way to get some hanging out with Mom. She gave us all a chance, but I actually will say I really was interested in the drum, but it was like something to connect with Mom too, other than washing the dishes. Hearing her say, do your homework.
Right.
Set the table.
Right.
So that kind of thing.
I've said that once or twice in my life.
I'll bet.
So you have experience with different styles of music,
Right? I do have some experience with different styles of music.
What are those, what types of styles are those, and what brings you back to Arabic music?
The styles of music I've been exposed to were before I was playing this drum. I entered the band in public schools here in San Francisco, and I told the band director I want to play the drums, and he said, well, you can actually, as a girl, you can play the flute, the clarinet, the oboe, the French horn, or the saxophone. And I said, but I want to play the drums. He said, you can play the flute, the clarinet, the oboe, the saxophone, or the French horn. And so I said, okay, I guess I'll pick the clarinet. So I learned how to read music by public school band, and I got in the marching band in the summers, and I kind of liked it, but I kind of wanted to do drums. So to answer your question more fully, regular music, band music, Western music, and when I was in my teens, I was interested not just in this kind of drum. I was interested in here in San Francisco, there's a lot of access to Latin percussion. So I took conga lessons, took lessons in Brazilian percussion. I joined a Escola Nova de Samba group, and I joined a women's marching samba group called Sista Boom. So those were things I was influenced by and got studied. But I also studied drum set, finally, probably in my early 20s. I studied drum set, and I realized, wow, and I got in a couple bands. We played a few gigs, and I realized, wow, that's a lot of drums to carry around. That's a lot. And I wasn't that good at it. To be truthfully honest, I wasn't that good at it. There's so many different forms. So if music has a drum in it, then I have to listen to it. I have to check it out. I'm open to it, and I try to connect the dots and see how things are connected and how they're different.
Yeah. That's so funny. Just as a side note, we have a lot of shared experience. Although, I mean, obviously you're accomplished and I'm not, but I started on clarinet and then ended up on the drum line. And when I was in college, I was doing percussion ensemble and samba band and calypso band and West African drumming as well.
Wow.
So same, just like the drums kept calling me back.
Drums, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, I think some people are bit by the bug and others aren't.
Well, I was bit by the bug.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.